All right, we are live.
We are live.
We are live on YouTube with Mr. Stuart Hedley, Pearl Harbor survivor, all around just good guy.
USS West Virginia.
That's right, 98 years old.
That's right. That's right. From San Diego, California. Stu Hedley, how are you doing today, sir?
What's that?
I said, how are you doing today?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, how's it going right now with the coronavirus? Are you staying busy mentally? You're behaving?
That's good.
You're behaving.
Good
Well, that's
guy.
good. We don't want you to get in trouble. Hey, Stu, I know this is kind of hard for you because I know you are always really active in the community, going to schools and always speaking at different events. How are you holding up?
Very good. I'm waiting for everything to clear up so I can go out to schools to speak again.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many schools did you talk to last year?
I would say about 18.
18 schools.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And about 9 or 10 organizations.
Wow. And what was the biggest audience that you had when you spoke to them?
The biggest audience was 1,000.
Rockstar status.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Stu is like
that was at the Reese Hotel over on Coronado.
Very
Wonderful.
cool.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, so I'll tell you, Stu, we've been doing these live conversations with veterans all around the country, and it's been really wonderful because, as you know, during this coronavirus, everybody's kind of just self-quarantining from home right now and not really doing much. And it's a really nice way for you guys to interact with people in the community, and they can ask you questions. So it's been wonderful. So thank you so much for joining us today. There's a lot of people already waiting to ask you questions and talk to you from all around the world. I think you're going to really enjoy this session.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. All right, so let's start bringing people in. Let's just get into it.
Are we going to show the video or no?
Nah. We were going to show our Pearl Harbor video at the beginning of this, but just the quality streaming on this just wasn't right. So after this live stream, we're going to premiere a Pearl Harbor video featuring Stu Hedley. I mean, we could show it here, but it doesn't look that good.
Let's just show it. Let's just show it like a little preview. Let's just show it. You want to just show it like a little preview?
We could.
Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm down.
You're the techie guy. Dude, Austin's the techie guy.
They'll at least get the story.
Yeah, he's the master behind the computer.
All right, let me get that set up while we're bringing in. I think this is Peter.
I'll let you know ahead of time, much of the information that was on the back of the photograph of me is misquoted.
Oh, really?
What?
For example, Stuart Hedley was born on October 29, 1921. That's correct. But it says in Orchard Park, New York. No, I was born in West Palm Beach, Florida. I joined the Navy, not in Orchard Park, but Buffalo, New York, on November the 20th, 1940. I was stationed aboard the West Virginia, and when the alarm sounded, Stuart was below decks, and I was. And when he came topside, he saw planes diving in. He heard a loud bang, and there went the U.S. Arizona exploding. Now, that didn't happen while it was topside. I was inside the turret when that took place. I just taken off the periscope when I saw the Arizona explode. And then the USS West Virginia was also hit. Stuart was running across the deck when he saw a torpedo coming through the water. No, I never saw any torpedoes coming through the water. My buddy, Johnny Anderson, was the one that saw the torpedo coming through the water. Because of the blast, Stuart jumped into the, no, I was inside the turret when we got a bomb through the turret, killing 11 men. That's when we came out on top side. We had already been hit by 6 torpedoes.
Wow.
And we were on about a 15-degree list. And I was standing on the quarterdeck with my buddy, Crosland. He was the trainer and I was the pointer on the right gun. We have 2 16-inch guns to a turret, and they're separated by a partition of 4 inches of steel. And each one operates independently, or they can operate in unison. But let's see what else. I did swim through the fire and oil water to Florida Island.
Yep.
Let's see. After Pearl Harbor, Stuart was transferred to the USS San Francisco CA-38, and that's true, and took part in fighting in the Battle of the Guadalcanal and Solomon Islands and several other battles. Stuart went on to serve 16 years, no, 20 years, and 9 days in the U.S. Navy. Now, he was discharged on June 4th, 1956. I was discharged on August 29th, 1960. So those are the errors that are in that picture on the back.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna get that fixed.
Clarify that to you.
Yeah, we're gonna get that fixed. You want to show us the card? You want to show everyone the card that we do for you to pass out, and we're gonna get that card fixed, and we'll have it accurate. Yeah, there he is. There's a handsome fella.
20 years old, 97 years old.
Yeah, those cards are great because you're able to pass them out, but we'll get it fixed and we'll get you a new batch as soon as we get back to regular, society as we know it and out and about and be able to, to visit schools and talk again.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Who we got, Austin?
So we're going to show the video.
Oh, let's do it.
Yep.
All right.
Right now we're going to premiere our new Pearl Harbor video featuring Mr. Stuart Hedley here.
Now, when I go to a school, my first approach is, you stay in school. Don't quit under any conditions. That's how I start out. I've got their full attention.
Oh, yeah, you do. Oh, yeah. Hey, when we get back to normalcy for sure, we'll follow you out of school and we'll make sure you get those kids' attention. We'll make it happen. Hey, that's the future. That's that's the next generation. And if anyone's going to put it forward, they're going to be the group to do it. And it's better to hear from no one but yourself. All right, Stu, sit back and relax. You haven't seen this yet. It's been a few months in work, but we got it all figured out, and we're going to show it right now. And then after this, we'll show it live on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll premiere it on YouTube after this. So this is our trip back in December when we took 5 Pearl Harbor survivors back to Pearl Harbor, and enjoy. It's about 5 minutes.
Every December 7th, we remember the past actions of our veterans on Oahu because they inspire us today. The fact that we are here today, citizens and friends of the greatest nation on earth, is a manifestation of the immeasurable debt we owe all who served then and those who wear the cloth of our nation now both at home and abroad.
December 7th, 1941 is a day that defined America and changed the world.
We heard a screaming aircraft, and moments later, a terrible explosion. The sky was full of aircraft with the rising sun insignia. We knew immediately what had happened.
I saw this ship when she exploded, and I saw about 32 bodies go flying through the air. And that's quite a shocker for a 20-year-old brat.
Service, sacrifice, and valor were demonstrated by American heroes as a legacy that benefited not just America, but the free world. Foreshadowed by the trials, toughness, and grit that epitomized the greatest generation during the Second World War.
Freedom's not free, and it's because of men like this that serve, that give us this opportunity in life to be free.
5 of us are here today because of a young football player, Donnie Edwards.
It's going to be really special for all of us, and we're just happy to provide this opportunity for you guys. It'd be a chance to go back to the cemetery, a chance to go to Arizona, go back to where you fought and served in Kaneohe. What's going through your mind right now?
I'm young again. Now, I'm a little boy off the farm in Minnesota. When I got in the Navy, I still had cow manure on my shoes from being on the farm and stuff. When I found out I was coming to Hawaii, oh boy, was I happy about that.
The horrific events that took place here caught America by surprise, and it fell upon the shoulders of brave Americans, like the Pearl Harbor survivors and World War II veterans behind me, to respond on that fateful day. Because of you, our country is both defined by her storied past and invigorated by her boundless future.
This is my first trip. I never thought I would emotionally be able to come over to this memorial without totally breaking up.
So what are you thinking about when you see these young sailors here?
I'd like to be sitting in one of those chairs.
It was a sight I'll never forget. I seen gentlemen jumping in the water, trying to swim through burning oil. Some died in the water, some died when they reached the beach.
11 men from my turret were buried here. I am honored to be among these outstanding Marines.
We wanted to take this opportunity to thank you gentlemen for everything that you've done. We're going to go ahead and give you guys our Fleet Marine Force pins.
These men before you represent the greatest generation in all of American history. No one before them and no one since has been asked to serve and sacrifice in the way they did between 1941 and 1945.
We shall always be grateful.
It is customary on December 7th that we observe a moment of silence at 7:55 to commemorate the beginning of the attacks on Oahu. Completing the moment of silence will be F-22 Raptors executing a missing man formation in honor of those who lost their lives 78 years ago today.
Have it, Mr. Hedley. That was your return to Pearl Harbor back in December. What was that trip like for you?
Nostalgic.
Nostalgic.
Brought back a lot of memories.
I can imagine. And you've been back several times. Like, what is it? Does it get easier? Does it get harder for you?
No, It remains about the same.
Okay.
I think the hardest time was in 1974 when my wife and I celebrated our 25th anniversary. And we were on the cruise vessel going through the harbor. And everything was okay, entering the harbor and entering around Ford Island. But then when we came around the bend onto Battleship Row, everything replayed in my mind. And my wife was wondering what went wrong with me. And I told her, I said, honey, I never told you this, but I was here on December the 7th. So then I explained to her where all the ships were at, tied up. Not only to her, but everybody that was on the cruise boat.
Yeah.
But other
So your
than
wife,
that,
your wife didn't.
I'm again, and it's just been a remembrance of what took place on
So
that
Stu,
day.
before that, you didn't talk about it at all? Before 1974?
1972, Fred Thompson asked me if I would speak to his 6th grade class. That was the first time that I spoke at a school.
Wow.
And it was very unique because I had told the children that I had gone through World War II and I never got a scratch, a burn, or a wound of any kind. And when I got through, I asked if there were any questions. And there was a young boy in the back of the class raised his hand. So I asked him, what's your question, son? Mr. Hedley, you told us you went through Pearl Harbor and all the way through World War II, and you never got a scratch or a wound of any kind? I said, that's correct. He said, well, what happened to your little pinky? Well, I got hungry and bit it right off. His eyes got as big as saucers.
Oh,
then I told him,
I bet they like that.
On June 19th, 1941, I was being transferred to the USS Houston. And I didn't want to go. And that morning, we went into the gun turret. It was already 110 degrees outside. And inside that turret, it's about 130 degrees because we don't have any air conditioning. Well, we were there till about 11:30, sweating, and the gun boss said, Hedley, open the right overhang. That's a 3-ton hatch, and it's controlled by a chain going through a pulley that lets it down gradually. Well, I had opened that hatch many times before, never had any problem. But for some reason, I reached down with my left hand, released the latch, and laid my other hand on the chain. And when that hatch started going down, my hand went through the pulley and it cut my little finger off and crushed my index finger. My 2 middle fingers were on the vertical link, so they didn't get injured.
Ugh.
But because of the loss of my finger, it saved my life because the boy in the 3rd Division that went in my place went down with the ship in the South China Sea.
Oh, man.
in February of 42.
Wow.
That's the only casualty I received in my 20 years in the Navy.
Well, you definitely have a guardian angel watching over you for sure.
You better believe it. That's
Yeah,
what I
well,
told
that's one-
Rosa.
Yeah, no, for sure. Austin, we have someone coming in.
Yep, we got Daniel here.
Hi.
Hey,
Can
Daniel.
you see Daniel too?
Hi.
Stu, can you see Daniel?
Can you hear us, Stu? There we go.
There you go. We see you.
Hey, Stu,
Go
we
ahead,
got
Daniel, ask
Daniel
your
here
question.
from Spain.
Yeah.
From Spain?
Yep.
Yeah, from Spain. Stu Hedley.
So my question for you, Mr. Stuart, was that in which campaigns you were during World War II?
Which campaigns did you continue on in World War II, Stuart?
Well, when it went aboard the San Francisco, we were on our way to protect Wake Island. But Wake Island had already captured. So we turned around and came back to Pearl. Then our next excursion was where we went to Samoa and we patrolled the Pacific this side of the international date line. However, we did cross the international date line on a zigzag course.
Yeah.
And I think the first battle we was in was New Guinea, where we bombarded Samal and Lae. Then from there, we were with the Lexington and the Yorktown in the Coral Sea battle.
Oh, wow.
Then we headed back to Pearl, and we then were ordered to go to Tahiti and pick up 15,000 Marines. And we went to New Zealand. Then we took the transports to Melbourne, Australia, and Sydney, Australia. They were getting prepared for the Guadalcanal invasion, which was August 7th. There was a very unique happening in the March 1942. We launched 2 aircraft on the morning of March the 6th. Now they knew that we were going to bombard on March the 10th. So while the planes were in the air, there was no communication, so that the Japanese could not pick up any signal. Well, one plane came back that afternoon, but the other plane didn't. And the miracle of that is, on the 10th, we bombarded from 8 o'clock in the morning till 11:30 that morning.
Jeez.
And we were headed southward when all of a sudden a plane, I believe from the Yorktown, flew over our bow and dropped a message. Sighted your airplane, and they gave the direction and everything. The morning of March, Friday the 13th, we rescued the pilot and the gunner that was with him. And they were both just about gone.
Wow.
And we brought them back aboard the ship. And by July, they were both active and ready to fly again.
Nice.
That was on March Friday the 13th. On November Friday the 13th, both of them were killed in separate situations at about the same time.
Oh, wow.
Pilot was flying a doctor from Tulagi over to Florida Island. And with the fog and everything, he crashed into the mountain. And the pilot was killed. The radioman was in a PBY near Henderson Field, ready to take off when one of the depth charges let loose. And he was killed.
Oh,
both were rescued on Friday the 13th, and both died on Friday the 13th. That was written up in the Naval Institute Journal.
Your memory is incredible, Stu.
Then our next battle was a night battle at I'll think of it, because following that was on October 11th to 12th. And then on November 11th, 12th, and 13th, we were in the Battle of Guadalcanal. That's where our ship got all shot up. Let's see. Battle of
Was that a terrifying situation when you're getting shot up? Like, what was that like being in that moment?
I was with damage control. So I was down below. Eddie Huber and I were both electricians. And we were sent up to help out with gun 6. That's a 5-inch gun, 5-inch 25 anti-aircraft. And on our ship, on the starboard side, you have gun 1, gun 3, gun 5, and gun 7. On the port side, you have gun 2, gun 4, gun 6, and gun 8. Unbelievable. Gun 6 is the only gun that wasn't destroyed with a 14-inch shell.
Oh, wow.
Gun 8 that was right alongside of us, a Japanese destroyer was coming down our port side, firing away at our after superstructure, not knowing that a plane had hit it the day before. But the gun captain on gun 8 told the gun pointer, aim for the depth charge. And they put a 5-inch shell right in those depth charges, and that ship just literally exploded.
Oh, man. That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, so Daniel is from Barcelona, or
No, from
No,
the
no, no.
Canary Islands.
oh, the Canary Islands. That's right. And how old are you again?
15.
He's 15. He's 15 from Spain, and he's come on a few times and really interested in World War II. So there's a lot of young
What
people out
grade
there
is he
still
in?
very interested.
What grade are you in?
Sorry?
What grade are you in?
I don't know how that works in the United States,
Oh, yeah.
but here in Spain, like it's called 4th of ESO, but I don't know how it works in the United States.
So you'd probably be in 10th grade in the US.
I suppose.
So you have like what, 3 more years of school left?
Yeah, like the next year, I will have like 2 more years in high school.
Okay.
High school. Yeah,
High
that's
school,
right.
yes. He's in high school.
Hey, Dan, what are you gonna do when you go to university?
I'm planning to study in Normandy because I'm like in a program in high school that's called Bachivac, and it's like you the lessons are teach in French, so that allows you to when you finish high school to study in France. And as I'm interested in World War II, I'd like to study there.
Very cool. Have you been to Normandy?
Hawaii
Yeah.
and the USS Arizona and Punch Bowl and Pearl Harbor?
Sorry?
Would you ever like to go visit Hawaii and see Pearl Harbor and the USS Arizona Memorial? And
Yeah, I definitely want to, but it's a bit far.
Yeah, it's very far. It's it's worth the trip though. It's
yeah.
Well, Stuart, definitely go out there.
Yeah.
And I've been one time to Normandy in 2018, and this is a souvenir that I bought.
We were there in 2018.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
quite an experience.
I just wanted to thank you, Mr. Austin, Mr. Donny, for what you're doing. Like for me, it was like a dream to talk to World War II veteran. Like here in Spain, I don't have a chance to meet physically a World War II veteran, but here I have the possibility to talk to one of them. So I want to thank you, and that's so.
We appreciate that. Like this is why we do it. Like, cause I mean, you're right. For a lot of people, they may go their entire lives and never meet a World War II veteran. And like the time is short. Like we don't have much time left with these guys. So our thing was like, how do we connect people with the veterans? Like we can't necessarily go out right now. Like, and so we came up with this idea, and it's been fun. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
I do like it too. You having fun?
You having fun, Stu?
Danny,
yep.
What city does he come from?
What city?
What city in the Canary Islands? Where is that the city?
La Laguna.
La Laguna.
La Laguna.
La Laguna.
Yes.
What's the biggest city around there? Nearest to where you're from?
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's
like
wonderful.
it's
Not near Madrid, then, is he?
Sorry?
What's that?
Is he near Madrid?
Are you near Madrid?
No, I'm quite far.
Pretty far.
Yeah.
Well, now I need to go to Spain. That's like one of the few countries I haven't been to.
Yeah.
I recommend you.
Been there.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is really amazing and great technology in order to connect, you know, from so many distant places around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, as you always do. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Enjoying it.
Bye.
Say goodbye, Stu.
Keep up the good work in school, son.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. Bye.
Right.
Bye. Keep up the good work.
And stay in school.
Stay in school.
Stay in school.
I remember.
That's right.
I remember the first couple times he did that when we were at like schools or out and about. It just scared me because he just out of nowhere is like, stay in school.
And the microphone is like boom. It's like whoa.
I know. It's like, woo. All right. Good message. Good message. All right. So we're gonna this is Ralph, one of our team members here. We're gonna bring in John here. Hey John, can you hear us? Can't hear him yet.
Don't see him.
Can you hear us, John?
Yeah.
Right on.
Oh, hey, John.
Hi, guys. What's up?
Not much. You're live with Stuart Hedley here.
Nice to meet you, Stuart.
Hi, John. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
Where are you from, John?
I'm from Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. All right.
Yeah.
How old are
Pretty hot
you?
out here.
How old are you?
I'm 18. I'm a senior in high school.
Right
Very
on.
cool.
Yeah.
What do you say to the students, Stu?
You're a senior in high.
Yes, sir.
Stay in school. Don't quit under any conditions.
Yes, sir.
Get
Stay in,
Stay in school.
I will.
You will. So what's your question for Stu?
My question is, what made you join the military? And also, why did you join the Navy?
Good question.
Well, first of all, I grew up on Lake Ontario, and we didn't have a Boy Scout. We had a Sea Scout, and I was a sailor right from the very beginning.
Oh.
And in 1939, I had a fight with my stepmother and almost killed her. And I lost interest in everything. And I went from an honorary 90 above average student to a total failure by April of 1949. So I told my dad I got to get out of the house. And he asked me what I wanted to do. I wanted to join the Navy. So he took me to the recruiting office, but I was too small and underweight for the Navy. So they put me in the CCCs. That's the Civilian Conservation Corps. And I was there for just a little over a year. When I was 5'2", weighed 122 pounds, I joined the Navy in Buffalo, New York on August 20th, 1940. And I stayed in the Navy until August 29th, 1960. And I went all through World War II from Pearl Harbor to Tokyo. Then I ended up going into the Korean War in 1953. But it also was a wonderful experience because we did a round the world cruise that year.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Where were you when the war ended, Stuart? You heard the news.
When the war ended, we were in the island of Ulithi when we got the word that the war was over with. And shortly after that, they sent our squadron to Yokosuka, Japan. And we were there when they signed the peace treaty on September 2nd. 1945.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
So John,
December the 5th, we left Japan and headed for the United States. I was on board a destroyer at that time, the USS Nazi.
very cool.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
John, send us this is your first time on, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what I thought. Yeah, send us a message on Facebook or Instagram and with your address, and we'll send you out some swag.
All right. Yeah, I will. Sounds good.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Nice talking with you, John.
What?
He said, "Nice talking to you, John."
Oh,
nice talking to you too.
I've got a quick question for you. Why do you have interest in World War II history? You have any family members or anyone that was a part of the war?
Yeah. So my great granddad was in the 82nd. I don't know a whole lot. I know he ran a training camp in the United Kingdom, but I've just always been interested in history and particularly in World War II. Mm-hmm. And so it's inspired me to join the military. So I'll be going to an academy after high school.
Very cool.
And I'll be making a career out of that. But yeah, it's just the stories of all the men and women, who served in World War II has inspired me. And it's just always been something I've been interested in. So.
No, that's wonderful. What branch of the service are you thinking about joining?
I'll be going to the Army. I'll be going to West Point.
Oh, fantastic.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks for choosing
amazing
to serve, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. And, these guys help create the history. I mean, you think about, the history of our country, guys like Stu Hedley, we got punched in the face on December 7th, 1941, and they all stood up. They all were bloodied in the face, and they stood up and they fought back and all the way through. And it just goes to show you the testament of our country. And, and we're grateful to have people like you as well, understanding the history and paying it forward and serving. Although none of us here from Best Defense have served actively, we serve in a different capacity. And we're going to continue to serve the oldest to the youngest. So thank you for your commitment to serve, and we'll look forward to sending you out a shirt, and we'll be watching you at some point when you guys beat Navy, right?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Well, hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll be heading out there this year for the game at the end of this year. So we'll have some veterans with us, and we'll be on the field, and so we'll have to see what happens. But
that would be fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Send us a DM, and we'll send you out something nice. All right?
Yes, sir. And thank you for your service, Stu.
All right.
Stu, how was that? Pretty cool, huh?
Yes.
Very cool. All right, let's bring some more kids in.
Did he say what school he goes to?
No, he didn't say what school specifically. He's just in Oklahoma.
Yeah, in high school.
I see.
Yep. And Alex, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Mr. Hedley, thanks for your willingness to continue to share your story. It's greatly appreciated.
You're welcome.
What was your rank in the Navy at the time of the Pearl Harbor attack?
I was a seaman, first class.
Okay. What would your role have been on the ship prior to Pearl Harbor? What was your role on the West Virginia?
I had many roles because I was striking for coxswain. So I was a boat operator. I was a side cleaner. I was a gun pointer in Tier 3. And I served as messenger on deck. And everything that you did on top side is what I did.
Wow.
Scrub the deck.
Do what you can.
What were your first memories when the attack began? That initial moments.
Well, just prior to the attack, I was getting ready to go on liberty. My girlfriend's mother was going to pick me up on the dock at 9 o'clock, and we were going to go on a picnic up on the north end of the island. And in the process, my dress shoes were missing. And so I asked one of the fellows in the compartment if he had seen my shoes. Oh yeah, Pete Hartley wore them last night. Well, Pete Hartley was the leading boatswain mate, 32 years in the Navy, first class boatswain mate. And so I said, well, where is he? Oh, he's in after steering. I got to go down 5 decks to get to the stern of the ship. And there he is, sound asleep, drunk. And I took my shoes off from him. And I was walking out, and right there is the quartermaster's quarters. And a buddy of mine, Cherry, third class quartermaster, said, Stu, how about having a cup of coffee? So we were having a cup of coffee and talking back and forth. And all of a sudden, the word went out over the loudspeaker, away fire and rescue party. So that meant I was to get to my locker as fast as I could. So I went up those 5 flights of ladders to my locker. And when I opened up my locker to get my hat, I got kicked right in the seat of the pants. Get to your battle station on the double. This is the real thing. I grabbed my hat and went out on top side, and planes were diving from every angle. And I saw a pilot underneath the gun tub firing away with his .45. Now, I'm a seaman, and he's a lieutenant commander. So I'm not going to question what he's doing. But in my mind, I'm wondering, what in the world kind of a war is this if you're fighting with a .45? So anyhow, he said, where's your battle station, son? And I pointed up to turret 3. I ran up the ladder, got inside the turret. Crossan and I were the only 2 that manned the gun. Normally, there are 12 men. We didn't know it. The left gun was fully manned except for 1 person. That was my best buddy, Johnny Anderson. When we got in, we could hear the machine gun bullets hitting the turret, and we felt the thud of a torpedo. And Crossan said, Stu, let's see what's going on. So we removed the sight cap from our periscope, and we looked through that, and bam, there went the Arizona. And I estimated about 32 bodies went flying through the atmosphere. And when I joined the present Pearl Harbor organization in 1984, I met one of those men, Jack McCowan, who was blown off the Arizona.
Wow.
So that was my experience that morning.
Wow.
How many guys were on the West Virginia the morning of the attack? How many guys were on the ship?
I imagine we had about 1,200 to 1,300 men aboard.
Wow.
Do you know how many were killed that day from the West Virginia?
127.
Oh, wow.
Oklahoma lost 429. Arizona lost 1,177.
Now what's that ship there, Stu?
That's my ship, the West Virginia.
That's right.
I
So you had
think
1,200 men on there?
Pardon?
You said you had 1,100 or 1,200 men on there?
No, we had about 1,300.
Oh, 1,300. Oh, okay. Wow.
That looks like it was taken in Hawaii, just off the coast of Hawaii.
Just think there's 5,000 on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, it's like a small city. It's like a small city.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, thanks for coming by, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
thanks for your time, Mr. Hedley. Thanks for your service. And we'll never forget what you guys went through to ensure America's freedom. I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Remember.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You gonna tell him, Stu? Tell him, give him your message. Oh, I thought he was gonna do it. I thought he was gonna yell, "Stay in school!" But, no. All right.
Guys, take care.
Remember,
Yeah,
Alex, thank you for joining us today. It's really great to have the interaction between you and Stu and so many of our community. So thank you for joining us today, buddy.
All right, take care, guys.
Absolutely.
Nice talking with you.
Absolutely. Let's show a picture of that. I like this picture here.
Oh, look at that handsome fella.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's in Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't know you were a smoker.
Yeah, I was a pipe smoker.
We'll see when
that pipe.
Well, it looks like a 30-inch waist right there. That's a narrow waist you got there. Looks good.
Yeah, I was a first-class electrician in that picture.
Nice.
Looking good.
See if we can get some more people in here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Can't see you. We hear you.
All right. Sorry, I don't know why, but my video is not working.
Oh, bummer.
It looks like it's working on my camera, like the lights on. But
I can hear you, but I can't.
Bummer.
should I ask my question anyway?
Yeah, go ahead and ask.
Yeah, sure.
So first of all, thank you so much, Mr. Hedley, for your service. I really can't explain how grateful I am. Like, one of my great grandfathers, his ship was torpedoed before the war began. So thank you, because it was people like you who defended it. So my question is, once the attack was over, like, what was it like once it sunk in that you realized that the U.S. had just been attacked? What was it like when that idea sunk in?
Well, the whole idea was I realized we were involved in war. And my response to Crosland was, if I don't get killed today, I'll live to see the end of the war. He asked me, he says, how in the world can you say that, Stuart? I said, if you've got the faith to believe it, you can do it. He says, I don't have that kind of faith. But my faith carried me through, all the way through.
Okay. Also, what was it like growing up during the Great Depression?
Question.
We were very fortunate because during the Depression, my dad worked for the Curtiss Wright Aircraft Corporation. And they made good money. And we had a lovely apartment there in Buffalo, New York. However, when the stock market crashed in October of 29, we lost everything but my dad's job.
Wow.
And we lost our home. We moved to a farm. And to subsidize my dad's income, we raised chickens and sold eggs all over the community. But then when Reuben Fleet came into Buffalo, New York in 1934, my dad went to work with him. So he worked with Reuben Fleet until 1936, when Reuben moved out to San Diego.
Okay.
But my dad then worked for I.E. DuPont and had a good job. So all during the Depression, we really didn't feel the results that a lot. We saw people lined up in food lines along the street there in Buffalo, New York. But my father had a good job, and so we did fairly well.
Peter, how old are you and where do you come from?
I am 15 and I live in Maryland, right outside DC.
Oh, okay.
Right on. Yeah, we have a number of veterans that live out in that area there for sure. A lot, actually.
We got a lot of veterans over there.
Yeah, you that were.
Where in Maryland does he live?
Right above DC.
Near Annapolis?
I'm about an hour away from Annapolis, but pretty close. Yeah, I've seen the ships there.
What's your town?
Sorry?
What town do you live in?
What town do you live in?
I live in Rockville, Maryland.
Oh,
Sorry, say it again, Stu.
yeah, you know where Hyattsville is at?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, Hyattsville? I don't know.
Hyattsville, Maryland.
Huh.
Baltimore.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but I know Baltimore. That's where we always beat up on the Ravens when I played for the Chargers and Chiefs.
Gotta get that shout out in there now and then.
Put it in there, you know. Beat the Ravens.
Well, cool. Peter, thanks for coming on, and send us a message on Instagram or Facebook and we'll send you out some swag.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for joining, buddy.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so we got Caleb here as well. Caleb, I'm gonna turn your mic on now.
Do you see Caleb?
How's it going, Caleb?
It's going good. Hello, Mr. Stuart.
Stuart, do you see Caleb?
Hi there.
There he is.
You got a question for him?
Mr. Stuart, before we start, I wanted to say thank you for your service, sir, and that I really appreciate you going out to fight so we could have such a great country.
Is he still there?
Thank you.
Okay.
The screen was frozen for a second.
Yeah.
You hear that, Stu?
What's that?
Did you hear him?
Your screen
No,
was.
I didn't hear what he had to say.
Oh, say it again, Caleb. His
Say it
screen.
again, Caleb.
I said, Mr. Stuart, before I asked you a question, I wanted to say thank you for your service, sir, and I just really appreciate it for you going to fight for us so we could have such a great country to live in.
Thank you.
Agreed. Agreed. All right. So what's your question, Caleb?
I wanted to ask Mr. Stewart if he had any advice for somebody my age.
Oh, I know he's got some advice for you.
for Caleb and his age group.
What grade you in, Caleb?
I am I'm in 8th grade. I'm going into 9th grade this year.
I'm telling you the same as I tell others. Son, you stay in school. Don't quit under any conditions. Learn as much as you can about the history of our country. And keep your eyes and your ears open to what's going on. You're the future of this country. And so you're going to need to understand what we fought for. We fought for your freedom. We fought for your rights as an American citizen. And don't take anything for granted. Study what you're told and look behind the efforts that are being presented.
Yep. Good advice.
But here, I also suggest to you, learn to love one another, regardless of race, color, creed, hairstyle, clothes, or whatever. If we learn to love one another, we're not going to fight with one another.
Truth.
There.
Hashtag truth.
Yeah, that's great advice. Great advice.
I also want to ask you another question, if that was okay, Mrs. Stewart.
Sure.
I was wondering if you were there when the USS North Carolina came into port, because I'd heard, because I've been to there in Wilmington, and I heard it was like a really big thing when it came in, because it came in, I think it was either a week or a month after it happened.
What's that again?
Were you there when the USS North Carolina came in to Pearl Harbor?
Yes, I was. I was
Anything you remember
there.
about that?
I was stationed there at that time. Both the North Carolina and the Washington both arrived.
Caleb here is from North Carolina.
Oh, you're from North Carolina?
Yes, sir.
Oh, great.
I had one last question, if that's okay with you, Mrs. Stewart.
Yes.
Did you know somebody by the name of Joseph Hayward Regranis? He was on the USS Arizona, and he was my great grandfather. I wanted to know if you knew him.
No, I didn't know anybody off the Arizona till after I joined the Pearl Harbor organization. Then I met several fellows that had been on the Arizona, but I didn't know anybody on the Arizona before the fight began.
Interesting.
Well, I take that back because we all knew Admiral Kidd and we all knew Captain Falkenberg. Those are the two leaders of the Arizona.
Okay, cool. Well, Caleb, thanks for coming on again, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you, Mr. Stewart, it was an honor. And when I saw that we were gonna be able to talk to you last night, I've been looking forward to it all day. Thank you for letting me talk to you, Mr. Stewart. It was an honor.
Well, thank you, son.
Have a blessed day, Mr. Stewart, and thank you for your service.
Thank you ever so much. I'm just happy to be here.
Yes, sir. I'm happy you're here too.
Caleb, you're the next generation. We appreciate your interest in keeping history alive, and Stu does as well. We never ever want to forget, what was done in the past, so we don't repeat it in the future. And keep up the good work, and we'll keep doing this, and we'll keep moving it forward, buddy. So thank you so much for your participation today.
Mr. Stewart, I promise.
Blessing you.
Mr. Stewart, I promise I'll do do the advice you gave me. God bless you, and thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Love it.
Oh,
Love it.
Oh, it gives me hope for the future.
I know. Let's see. I think this is our buddy Ron. Yeah, it is.
There he is.
This is our buddy Ron from Barcelona.
Hey, Ron.
Barcelona, Spain.
Yes.
Barcelona, Spain.
Hi.
Hey, Ron.
Hi.
Hi.
You're on with Mr. Stu Hedley. Can you
Yes.
hear us, Ron?
Yes, I can.
Ask your question if you want.
My question is, if you were scared during the attack in Pearl Harbor.
What I did at Pearl Harbor?
He asked, were you scared when the attack happened?
It happened so fast you didn't have time to get scared.
He said it happened so fast you didn't have time to be scared.
You just did what you were trained to do. We were well trained because we practiced for a whole year in battle practice, knowing that we were going to be going to war with Japan. But we didn't expect it to come like it did.
Okay. Okay. And my other question is, did you have any fear of being captured or killed in Wake Island? Or you didn't have any fear?
Did you hear that, Stu?
No, what do you say?
He said, did you have any fear of being captured or killed at Wake Island?
No, I wasn't at Wake Island. That's the only battle of the Pacific I think we missed.
Oh, you missed that one. Okay.
Yeah, we were escorting Marines to Australia and islands that they were going to cover.
I think this connection feels.
Yeah, he broke up there a little bit. I didn't hear him. Ron, did you get your shirt yet?
No.
Did you send us your address?
Yes.
Okay.
We were also in the Battle of the Aleutians.
Say that again, Stu.
Yeah, Aleutian Islands.
Aleutians Islands. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You have another question, Ron?
No.
Cool, man. Well, Ron, thanks for coming by again, man. What time is it in Spain right now?
10. It's 10:10.
10 p.m.?
10.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 minutes past
You're
10.
you're up past your bedtime, man. I'm just joking. Thanks for coming by again, Ron.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, son.
Hello,
Nice
Ron.
talking with you.
All right, let's bring someone else in here. This is Grayson.
Grayson.
Grayson. We talked to Grayson before. He's joining.
No clue.
How you doing, Stu? You doing good?
Yep.
All right.
Pretty cool to have all these kids from all around the world in the country, huh?
Yes.
All right. What do we have next?
Says here Grayson.
All right, let's
Oh,
let's
there
talk
he
to
is.
Grayson. All right, Grayson.
Connecting to his audio.
Grayson, where you from and how old are you? Grayson, where you from and how old are you? You got Stu Hedley here.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, my earbud won't connect, so there may be a little bit of feedback.
All right, we can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
So, hi, Stu. It's awesome to meet you. Actually, let me see if you're looking. Okay. So, first, I'd like to say thank you for your service. I'm extremely appreciative of everything you've done for our country. I know that we would be in a much different place right now without men like you serving the way you did in World War II, and I really appreciate that. My mom, and I feel the same way, but my mom thinks that, or believes that my generation has lost appreciation for men like you serving. And I was wondering what you would want to pass on to my generation. Like what would you say is the most important thing to remember?
Good question.
What was that?
So what would you say the most important thing is for your generation to pass on to the current generation, to his generation?
This kind of sound odd, but what I pass on is the greatest need in anyone's life is to know that they have Jesus Christ living in them, giving them guidance, direction. I accepted the Lord when I was 17 years old, and he's never failed me since. And that's the greatest need in our world today. Not prosperity, not gold, money, it's a spiritual revival that's needed throughout the whole world.
So faith was very important to you during the war. I remember you mentioned that earlier.
Amen. It protected me all during war.
Yeah, you talk about faith getting you through. You know, faith is something that you have to have, especially to get you through, especially everything that you've seen, have gone through in your life.
He stood up. What's he doing? What are you doing, Stu?
I'm still here.
Oh, he's grabbing something. I see, Grayson, you're wearing your BDF shirt.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I came in 3 days ago, I think.
Nice. Represent.
Yeah. Thank you again for sending that to me. Probably not, or definitely not right now, but during college next year, I'll definitely gonna be wearing it around so I can represent.
Represent.
Represent, baby. What do you got there, Stu?
Stu, what are you showing us?
What I'm looking for, I'm trying to remember the night battle of October 11th and 12th.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to up in my, because that was in 1942.
Okay. Hey, Stu, who's this with you in this picture?
That's my buddy, Eddie Huber. Him and I were both first-class electricians. Well, we both came out as chief electricians.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's a
I love these old photos.
That's a great photo. Yeah, great photo.
Good stuff.
This, 20 February 1942, we were engaged in action in the Battle of Bougainville. Then on 10 of March 42, we were engaged in action with the enemy in the Battle of Somalia. On 7 August to 10th, we participated in the capture of and defense of Guadalcanal Island, Solomon Islands, including a night surface action against superior forces. Conduct excellent.
Nice.
This is in my service record. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, cool. Now, Stu.
Yes.
Who's this?
Oh, he's tall.
We were on shore patrol down in Guantanamo, Cuba.
That guy is really tall.
Yeah, he's really tall.
Was that before or
Remember
after
his
Pearl
name, Stu?
Harbor?
Yeah, this is the citation that I received for outstanding performance in action against enemy Japanese forces off Savo Island, the Solomon Islands, on the night of October 11th and 12th, and again in the early morning of November the 13th, 1942. In the latter engagement, the San Francisco silenced and disabled an enemy battleship at range of 3,000 yards, sank one enemy destroyer, damaged 2 other enemy vessels, although heavily damaged by 15 major caliber hits. She lived to fight again. Her survival, a distinctive tribute to the valorous spirit of her officers and men. Signed by Secretary Navy Frank Knox.
Right on.
Thank you for sharing that. For sure.
Absolutely.
Stu, do you have any other memorabilia around there that you'd like to share around your office?
Yeah, I'll show you what a friend of mine did for me. Joe Paisano made this photograph. This painting, actually, he painted this.
Yes, incredible collection.
As I understand it, there's one about 14 sizes larger that was presented to President Trump.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
The White House. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Hold that up to the camera so we can see it better. Hold that up to the camera so we can see it better. We didn't get a very good angle of it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very cool.
See
That's
it?
cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Good, good. So Grayson, you
Who's
got
that
any
hand
other
on the
questions?
right?
What?
You got another question?
Coming into this, I did.
That's all right.
I can't remember what it was. I'll try and type it.
You want me to show you some of the pictures of the actual damage aboard our ship?
Sure, why not?
Absolutely. Grayson, I'm sure you like
what?
Right?
Oh, Donnie, you're breaking up.
Yeah.
Can't hear a word you're saying. All I see is your beautiful smile. You're frozen on your beautiful smile.
And it's nice.
On that goatee that I don't recognize.
The go thing with the thing with
my hair is getting this ridiculous.
I tried to give myself a haircut the other day and didn't exactly work out too well.
My hair is just ridiculous. I just wear a hat now. I don't care.
Donnie, sound is really.
Donnie's got a bad connection.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see his sad face now.
Oh.
Now, who took these photos, Stu?
The Navy.
The Navy took them? Okay.
Yep.
So Stu, when did you meet the president?
Pardon?
Did you meet the president? Did he meet the president? Is that what you're talking about, Ralph?
Yeah, I think so. He did. I think last year or.
Did you meet the president, Stu?
No, I met him in Normandy.
Oh, you met him in Normandy?
Yeah, shook hands with him when we were back there for the 75th anniversary of the landing at Normandy.
You were there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember running into you there.
I was with Timothy Davis.
Oh, okay.
Now here's the picture of Turret 3.
What are you going to show us right now?
He's showing us the pictures.
That's inside Turret 3 on the left gun. The reason I'm alive, that shell never exploded. If that shell had exploded, we would have been the reverse of the Arizona.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, it's an air photo.
11 men were burned beyond recognition in that side of the turret.
Oh, wow.
Now this picture here was taken by Commander Fushida's plane. Showing where all our ships were at.
Is that right behind Battleship Row?
And it reads that Pearl Harbor, 7 December 1941, approximately 8 a.m., picture taken by Japanese squadron leader of the first wave to attack the ships present. Picture is the property of Bill Stutt's USS Blue. Original picture found 8 November 1946 in the Yokosuka Naval Facility, South Tokyo. Now here is where our ship ended up on the bottom. We're sitting on the side of the Tennessee, but it's reversed to you in the picture.
Yeah.
But
we can see
you
it.
can see where we're almost underwater, but not quite.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Now, you said that the first photo was taken. No.
The reason I was invited to Normandy was not because I fought over there, but the fellow that was aboard this ship, the USS Nevada, was involved in the June 6th bombing of Normandy. So I represented Woody Derby.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Okay.
One of the amazing things that I showed them was that on that morning at 8 o'clock, the Nevada started bombarding. One of their shells went right through a machine gun bunker, killing everybody in it. Then the shell ricocheted, went up into the observation tower, killed everybody in it, went through 14 inches of concrete, landed out in the field, never exploded.
Oh, geez.
Oh my gosh.
And that shell is still there in the ground.
Is it really?
Really?
That's cool.
As like a memorial of sorts, or because I would
Yes.
imagine that.
Yep, it is a memorial.
Okay.
And it's in a place called Ainsworth.
Interesting.
There's a picture of my ship when I came out of the turret.
Wow.
Wow.
And I was standing on the quarterdeck there. And I thought we were going to capsize because we were on about a 15, 20 degree list. I was ready to dive over. But
Was it hard?
we were called to
Was
get
it hard to
over
stand up?
Tennessee.
Grayson asked, was it hard to stand up?
Pardon?
Was it hard to stand up on the ship when you thought it was going down?
No. That
No.
that ship is about 75 foot wide. Yeah, 695 feet long.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, cool. Grayson, thanks for coming by.
The water. I guess you could almost touch the water when he's listening like that.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I said, thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
We'll try and get one more
Amazing
person.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Hedley, for your service, and I'll catch you guys next weekend.
All right. Thanks, Grayson.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
That battle I won is the Battle of Cape Esperance. That was October 11th and 12th.
Man, you remember dates so well, Stuart.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, so should we get like one more person in here?
Yeah, let's do one more person.
All right, let's do one more person in here. Let's see, we got another buddy here. We've been waiting for a while. What's up, Charlie? Oh, he's wearing the shirt.
Yep.
You got the shirt.
Got the
Represent.
hat behind me too.
Oh, and he's got the hat.
Got the Army Green. Army Green.
Yep.
Cool shirt.
Very cool. Well, Stuart, we got Charlie here who's a big fan of you guys. And he wants to say hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
Oh, thank you so much for your service. Thank you, like so much.
Thank you, son.
And so, my question, I have a couple. So my first question is, could you say a bit about the naval battle of Guadalcanal? Because I've heard a few stories of like what the Marines saw on land from the battle. But could you tell me like the perspective from the Navy?
Well, first of all, we bombarded, and we were there when the Marines landed. And the whole idea was to build an airfield, and they built Henderson Field. And we unloaded, I think, around 15,000 Marines. on August the 7th of 1942. And we watched them at nighttime shooting back and forth at the Japanese while we were cruising the channel there. But then on November the 12th, the Japanese Armada left one of their outer bases and proceeded to Guadalcanal. But they were armed and ready for fighting a land battle. All their shells were 14-inch, and they were all short bombardment rather than armor piercing. If they had been using armor piercing, I doubt whether I'd be here today, because I believe our ship would have been demolished.
Wow.
We got 15, 14-inch shell hits, but we still survived.
Wow.
Thank you for that. So my second question is, so on December 7th, when you had to abandon ship, like, what was the scene around you? Like, could you talk a bit about what it looked like all around you?
Yeah, it was burning oil on the water, so it was all smoke. It was, as a matter of fact, it hindered the second sortie they came in. It obstructed their vision. But the oil that was burning on the water, the flames were about as high as the ships were. Because that was the oil from the Arizona, the West Virginia, the Oklahoma, the California. That whole area there was ringed with that fire.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for talking about your experiences at Pearl Harbor and Guadalcanal. Thank you once again so much for what you've done for the country and for everyone, really. And I don't think I would have the freedom that I have now if it weren't for you guys. So yeah, thank you so much.
What grade do you have, son?
I'm in 7th grade, going into 8th next year.
7th grade.
Yeah.
Going into.
Yep.
Where do you live at?
Where do you live?
Where do you live at?
I live in England right now. I'm from Minnesota, but I moved to England. So yeah, I live here now.
You're in England.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a long way away.
Yep.
Yeah, I say, where in England? My folks came from Newcastle.
Oh, I'm in Surrey, which is a suburb of London. Yeah, so we're just like about an hour out of London.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Been to Wales. Been to Scotland. Been to
see a lot of the world.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie, doesn't
Stonebridge.
doesn't Chelsea have a football club there in Surrey?
They do. Their training ground is here. But I don't support the team. I support their rival, Tottenham.
Oh,
Tottenham.
Yeah.
Tottenham. Good club.
I should wear my Liverpool jersey on the next live.
Yeah.
I'll wear my Tottenham one.
Oh, right on. Right on. Or my LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tottenham is a dream that I have.
I'm a Sounders fan because I'm like right by Seattle. The Sounders are my team though here in the States. World Cup champions, not World Cup, MLS Cup.
Yeah.
Hey, Stu, do you have a question for Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie, I know you're in the 7th grade. How old are you?
I'm 13, turning 14 in
13.
December.
What do you plan to do with your life?
Well, personally, I wanna join the U.S. military. I'm opting for either Navy or Army because I don't think I am very cut out for the Marines. So Navy or Army are what I'm gonna try to do.
Okay, what I suggest, Charlie, you set your goal and work towards it.
Will do.
Have something that you're aiming for and follow through.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, cool, Charlie. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you guys too, and thank you guys for what you do, and thank you so much, Mr. Hedley, for what you do, and what you have done, and what you still do.
Well said. Well said.
All right. Cool. Thanks,
All
Charlie.
right, guys, see you.
Charlie.
See you.
What did he say?
Stay
What
safe.
did he say?
I said it was real nice talking with him.
Oh, yeah.
It was an honor, sir. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Hold on.
You bet.
Bye, bud.
God bless you.
Cool.
All right. What'd you think, Stu? Is that fun?
Very good.
Pretty good. Looks like you're grabbing some paperwork or something.
I know. Seems like I got a lot of work to do now.
He's busy.
He's all our guys. Like,
Yeah, he has a lot of memorabilia there for sure. A lot of pictures and so much stuff. I mean, his office is like a little small museum, and you can spend hours in there, as I've have before.
I saw only 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Cool. Stu, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello.
Great to see you again. We haven't seen you since December, so it's good to see you again.
Okay.
We hope you are staying safe and staying happy. And if there's anything we can do, do not hesitate to ask.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you guys once again. Another wonderful conversation this week, and we'll keep doing it. We'll keep having fun and sharing these stories.
Yep. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we'll post when and who it's going to be next.
Right on.
All right. Till then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.